holiday survival. And this weekend we are heading to Edgewater Bar, Derby Reach in Langley, British Columbia, and we're going to hopefully try and get out and do some real-world testing with the diesel heater. It's supposed to be a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the weather, so pretty much a wet weekend. Highs of about 9 or 10 degrees, and what are we at currently? Let's have a look. 14 degrees currently. Lows of around about 2 to 4 degrees. That would be Celsius. And yeah, the aim is to get to the campsite depending on the weather. Right now it's pretty fair, I'm okay with that. Get the camera set up and then video the setup of the system to show you sort of how long it takes to build it. We're also going to put the furnace on inside of the trailer to get that, like we said, up to temperature around, I don't know what, maybe 16 to 18 degrees, and then get the diesel heater cranked on and then lower it down and see how long the tank lasts, the battery lasts, and if we can sustain the temperature around 16 to 18 degrees throughout the weekend. That is the aim of the game. I'm thinking that I might be a bit short on fuel because of all the testing we've been doing, so we may have to add a bit of fuel towards Saturday night. I have bought a spare jerry can with me, so we'll see how that all works. It is just Bella and I. As you can probably hear, she's lapping up her drink, but other than that, her and I are out to have a relaxing weekend. This is the regional park, Edgewater Bar, Derby Reach. Right on the Fraser River. Hello.
You guys are checking in.
Yes.
Have you camped with us before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going rules or anything like that.
It's very popular with trailers and RVs. You're right on the Fraser River. It's really nice with the fact that you can fish from your campsite. It's really quiet, surprisingly. Especially at night time. There's a lot of through traffic, a lot of cyclists, a lot of hikers. So part of the, I think it's the Canada Trail, I think that's what they call it, cross-country Canada Trail. So yeah, it's a nice site, local. So we are currently at about 6 degrees inside the trailer. I'm now going to go put the furnace on inside, so the normal propane furnace, and we're going to crank this heat up while we set up, and then we'll get the diesel heater installed, and then we'll go from there. The exhaust, I made it a bit longer. It does have a filter on the end to stop anybody crawling up inside of it, which we don't want. Furnace has just kicked off for the first time. The diesel heater is prepped and ready to go. I've just connected the power source, the battery. Is under here. That took about 10 minutes to assemble on the tailgate and bring it to the back of the trailer. The next thing I'm going to do is padlock it to the trailer. I have two of these bicycle locks. These are temporary. They will be replaced by heavy duty chain just in case. And voila, there's the padlocks around the jacks for now. I did end up putting the holes right here to allow it to breathe more. That's where the cap is. That cap would be up here, exactly where it should be. And let's go and have a look at the diesel. All right, so we've got 2/3 of fuel in the tank. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. It's actually quite warm here right now, but the trailer was, like I said, 6 to 8 degrees inside. Excuse Bella, she likes to be around me. Let the propane heater kick in for a bit longer, and then from there we're going to start the diesel heater. That's one accessory I am doing. That block of wood needs to be there because when I built this, I was not thinking about the weight of the fuel, and it tries to want to pull the diesel heater over, which we don't want. So I am going to install a block of wood right there, or I just carry it. This is the exhaust. Going out to the other side of the trailer to push the fumes away from coming inside of the trailer. And there she is. She's trapped, look. She's wrapped herself around the fire pit. Okay, you good? Good. The controller for now is literally going to be here on the floor. I haven't figured this bit out yet because I found a new piece of information about extending this cable to the printed circuit board. So this one that goes all the way down to the printed circuit board. Play around with the length of this. Even if you get the right gauge of wire, it can create problems. So I haven't figured that out yet. Let's go and see what temperature is inside. So this is probably about 15-20 minutes after I set everything up and I was going to start the diesel heater. It's actually too warm. It's like, well, it's 17 degrees in here, or it was. It's going to cool down. The downside is outside it's still quite warm, 14 degrees. So I don't need to put the heater on yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wait till a little bit later on, maybe 6:30, when the temperature starts to drop, and then from there I'm going to put the furnace back on, get it up to temperature, then I'm going to turn the diesel heater on, and then I'm going to leave it on. So that's the plan. So it is about 7:15 now. I have the thermostat cranked to about 18. I have the propane heater running right now for about the last 10 minutes. I'm going to turn on the diesel heater at the same time, but let's go and have a look at the temperature inside before we do that. It's nice and warm in here. Let's see if we can get a good picture of it. There it is. It's only 15 degrees in here right now. So I'm going to turn on the diesel heater at the same time. It's sort of that time in the campsite right now where everybody's got their generators on, so it shouldn't be a big problem with putting the diesel heater on and people complaining. So we'll see how that goes. Let's have a look. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see right here. There is a little hole there. There is a thermostat, and that thermostat tells the controller if, and Bella wants to be a part of this, if it should stay on high or low to maximize what it feels inside. So we'll turn that on. So there goes that. I've left it on full so that we can get this going super duper. And the propane heater has turned off. So now the diesel heater is now going to kick in, get that going, get this nice and warm inside of here. Then I'm going to dial that right down, and hopefully that's going to stay on all night now. So we'll keep you in tune with what's going on as we progress through the night. I'm not going to be sure if you're going to hear that, but I'm sitting close to the trailer and the diesel heater is working. I have not turned it down. That's because we've cranked it right up. Oh, that's nice and hot. Oh yeah, that's really hot. I'm going to dial it down. Probably on 3, I think. I'll leave it there so that we can see how this ticks over now. You can hear that calming down already. Nice and warm in here, and it's still 17 degrees. So now we're going to see if this will tick over until we come inside. It's like I say, 7:30. It's nice and warm in here, and now we're going to go spend some time outside by the fire, and from there we're going to come back inside and just see how it's doing. This is the door I was talking about, being a fabric door. So this is our door into our bedroom. I'm actually going to close this. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to leave this open to see how it feels inside. I am now going to turn this thermostat off. This is our propane furnace. So that's now off. It's already 17 degrees in here. Let's see if it stays at 17 degrees. So we've just come inside. It's 10 after 8. The temperature is still 17 degrees. So, and it feels really warm in here. I'm actually really happy with it so far. I have not changed the speed or the temperature of the fan. Still on level 3. And it's kicking out a huge amount of heat, so this is really nice. I'm just going to go into the bedroom. I mean, it feels throughout the trailer a nice ambient temperature, so I'm really happy with it so far. So it is 20 after 10. It's been a few hours now, and the temperature has stayed at a nice, it's actually went up from 17 degrees, it's gone up to 19 degrees. I did turn the fan down to 2 notches, and it's kicking out a fair amount of airflow, and it's definitely nice and hot. So it's going to be interesting to see how it stays all night and what temperature we are here in the morning. Condensation, let's have a look. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see. Those windows are clear. This window, which has had the curtain on it, is a little bit condensation. So the condensation theory again doesn't quite work. We'll see tomorrow. I may just lift the blinds up a little bit on the rear windows, so this one here and this one here, just to see. Let's just have a look here. So this kitchen window is actually clear. There's a little bit down the bottom here. So condensation still appears, and that's because we're breathing. It's cold outside, single pane glass. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But it's a nice 18 degrees C. Good morning, everybody. Finally got out of bed, and I've just literally come from the bedroom, which was nice and comfortable. Still had a bit of airflow through the windows. But this morning I've walked into the living area and it feels nice and warm. Wearing a t-shirt. It is currently 8:30 a.m. Let's have a quick look at the thermometer. So it looks like it's around 17-18 degrees, and that has been there all night. I have not turned the furnace on, and the diesel heater has been chugging away. Nice and hot on the same low 1 set temp, 1 set speed. So I think that is a successful temperature check. We will go outside in a little while and put the thermometer out there, and let's just see what the outside temperature is. That'll give us a better idea as well. Now I'm going to look at the condensation. This is the first window. No condensation. A side window. We have some condensation. You can just see it on the bottom where the mesh is, and a hair of condensation sort of right there. So overall that's pretty good. Now this one, we had condensation sort of here last night. We still have a little bit here, but it's nowhere near what it usually is. And again, on the mosquito screen, I always find the mosquito screens seem to be a little bit worse, but there is a bit of condensation on the mosquito screen. Clear there, obviously you can see the clear patch. But I'm going to leave these windows open and see what happens. Let's go back to the kitchen one that we had. That has cleared up, so this is good to know. See a little bit right there. So really happy with the lack of condensation. It's still not been eliminated, which is sort of what I was hoping we could do, but it's way better than it was, that's for sure. Now obviously we're up. There's only one of us here this weekend. Normally Sandra is here with us as well, so we're creating more condensation through breathing. So, you know, we'll see how the day progresses. I'm going to leave this on and we'll go outside and have a look at the diesel level as well after a good 12 hours. So it is a very, very wet morning this morning. As you can see probably here, if I get my umbrella in the middle, fella's pulling towards the mud, which we don't want. I'll try and keep her out of this mud. Go down and have a look at the side of the trailer. Do not have any heating on, but this is the setup as we've shown you yesterday. The heater is dry, as in there's no rain. It's been raining all night. The exhaust going out over there. The thermometer is reading, what's that, about 2 to 4 degrees outside. So I've had this out for about 10 minutes. Quickly have a look at what the diesel level is like after 12 hours. So we can see there, I believe we were up at that level. So that's 12 hours of use. So that's not bad at all, to be honest with you. I think that's really, really good. Now, one other thing I want to share with you, and that is this mat and this mat here. For some reason, when I got into bed last night, they were wet. Now, these are up by our bed. Very confusing why this mat would be wet. I'm not sure. What I'm going to try and do is another experiment today. I'm going to put this down by that heater. I'm going to turn the nozzle downhill, and I'm going to see if we can dry this out, because I'm going to leave that heater on all day today. That's my theory today, and that's because I want to just see how long this diesel works. I can't remember if I have a voltmeter with me. Not that it's really going to help me, but it will give us an indication of what voltage we have in the lithium-ion battery. The other thing is, what I might do is just leave it overnight tonight, then turn it all off tomorrow, take it back to the workshop and put a voltmeter on it then. I didn't bring an amp clamp or anything with me. The other test I want to do as well is to monitor the batteries. And you can see here the green light. We're at 3/4 of a battery and we're putting 0.7 of an amp in. And again, it is throwing it down with rain and it is grey. So we're not going to get as much sunlight today, but I'm going to be interested to see what we peak at today. Not using the furnace is going to be good because the pump, the fan and the heating source, I mean the propane is free, obviously it doesn't do anything, but the fan is going to draw a lot of power. So if we can keep this heater around 18 degrees throughout the day, I put this sweater on to go for a walk. I'm already boiling, like it's getting hot. So again, if we can just keep this ticking over in here, it's going to save the battery on the trailer. I can use the lithium battery for a weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow and the end diagnosis of this. So I have put the mat here. I've turned the nozzle to face downhill and towards the inside of the trailer a little bit, and we're going to see if we can dry this mat. This is the rubberized side. I don't know why, but it is soaking wet. So noon update, the mat is about 80% dry. It's getting really dry. The blower is still pointing down. It's lovely in here, it really is. And the ambient temperature is still at 18 degrees. Condensation, front window is clear. We have cleared the rear window where the sofa is, and likewise here. So quite a bit of condensation has gone, but we haven't been inside for the last couple of hours. Kitchen windows are dry. I did put a crack of air in the windows, like here as well. And the vent in the roof has got, it's been opened ajar. Not sure if you can see that. There we go. So, opened about that much. And I did that because it was just too hot in here. So it's the ambiance in here is beautiful. It's, yeah, we just come back from a walk, and it's chilly out there. Definitely working in here, and the fuel is just ticking by. So the outside temperature is 10 degrees. So we are a good 10 degrees difference inside the trailer, which is absolutely brilliant. Let's go check on the diesel. And the diesel is doing really well. It hasn't really gone down all afternoon. Is it time to play Lego? Not sure which one to make. Do I make the helicopter, the prop, or the jet? Even on a dull day, 4.3 amps. It's about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So we are definitely saving power by not using the furnace, and the batteries are staying alive. Starting to get more power. No need for generators. So we got this carpet all dry. We got this carpet all dry, and we got that carpet all dry because that was sitting underneath of everything that was soaking wet. And we are still currently at, whoa, look at that, we are at 22 degrees, and it is currently 6 p.m. The diesel, we have used about half of what was available to us as of last night. It's looking really good. Temperature update, we are still, oh no, we've dropped down to 20 degrees. I've been in and out of the trailer for a little while now, down to a t-shirt again. Before I had my toque on, we were just literally going back outside. It is 8:26 p.m. so we've been running for about 25 and a half hours right now, and plenty of diesel left. Looks like the battery is still going pretty well, and it's so comfortable in here. So, well, good morning everybody. It is morning 2 of this weekend's test of the diesel heater, I've kept these curtains closed because it's pretty much first thing in the morning. It's 8:45. Been a bit of a lazy start, but I just wanted to show you the update on condensation. So this has been running now for 37.5 hours, constant. It has been running at the low setting. I will give you a temperature update in a minute. I'm in a t-shirt. It's not hot, but it's not cold. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Now I'm doing this video first thing because I'm going to be adding the kettle in a minute to the propane stove, which means we're going to add heat in here, so the temperature will rise. But let's have a quick look at condensation. There is zero condensation. This window gets quite a bit of condensation in the mornings. Now that is with two of us and the dog, and Bella is right here. This one has zero condensation, and I'm going to do a 360 in a minute with the camera and show you all the windows. There is zero condensation in here. Again, we're not breathing as heavily. I did have the 2 bedroom windows open, about that much on both windows, so we had some through air. I did close the curtain between the bedroom and the living quarters, and like I said, I've been in and out of here on and off throughout the night and right now, and it is just beautiful in the way of temperature. That is the side window. I'm hoping you'll be able to see through the blinds on the kitchen windows, but there is zero condensation. And if we go through the kitchen window, there is no condensation in there as well. So that is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm expecting a bit of condensation shortly because we are going to start getting things going. Temperature. Hoping the camera will focus in on that. Hoping, will it focus in? There we go. We are currently at 17.5 degrees. Okay, so that's been consistent throughout the night. So like I said, we've come down from a high of about 21, 22 yesterday to a low of about outside temperature was 10 degrees in the afternoon. Let's go outside and have a look at how much diesel we've got left. Now this is still going to be running for the next hour or so while we get breakfast ready and everything else, but I've got no fear on the diesel. I'm really impressed with how much diesel we've actually used. And again, we're not going to be able to test the battery. It's still running. I have not changed anything. I've just let it pump over because I think if I increased the temperature and the fan speed even up to 2 or 3, well, let's say even halfway on the dial, it'd be too hot in here. Yesterday during the day it was too hot even on the lowest setting. At the morning, yes, I could wake up, we could dial it up and we could get a bit more heat, but again, I'm going to put the kettle on. It's going to, that stove, which reminds me, another point on condensation. We talked about how propane goes through its exhaust manifold and doesn't really come in here. Diesel heater does the same thing because it has a heat exchanger. There is one caveat to that, and that's going to be the stove. We have a 3-burner propane stove inside the trailer that is going to be burning propane that will create condensation, but it's minimal. Okay, the walls are dry on the trailer, everything. I am super impressed. I've probably said it enough times, but I can't get over how happy I am with the diesel heater so far. How much did it cost? The cost of this build was just under $500 Canadian. Now that to some people would be like, yeah, that's a lot of money, why would you do this, you have a propane heater? Well, currently my batteries are full. I have not wasted much and I'm not freaking out in the evening because I've had my propane furnace running along with all my other stuff. I've been able to put my power on, my lights on, charge batteries for iPads, iPhones, cameras, etc. The solar has been minimal, yes, because it's been an overcast weekend, but my batteries are running really, really well and I am super happy about that. What else? I'm just overly happy. Would I mount it to the trailer? Yes, I would. How would I do it? That's another thought for process because I would want it outside. It is quiet in here. I can't hear anything. I hear a little bit of the fan coming through. I'm sorry, I hear the air coming in. I don't hear the fan because everything's exterior. So that is the nice thing about the unit. So yeah, I really am happy with it. This again is going to be late fall, early spring and a winter style heater. That is the idea about this. This will not come with us on summer trips. Probably after the sort of, I don't know, April, May, when the weather starts to get warmer, it probably will not come with us because I don't need to keep the temperature inside of here. This is our first trip off-grid since beginning of February, because we were on powered sites at Porto Cove. We are now off-grid here, and what I mean by that is no power, no water supplied to the trailer. So we are self-sufficient when it comes to the battery unit itself and the heating. But let's go outside now and check out that diesel. That's how quiet it is. That is the amount of diesel that we've used. So I've got plenty in there to last at least the next hour while we're here. Smoke from the exhaust, I just did a quick look. There is a bit of exhaust gas, but that's because it's cold out here and that gas is really hot. And we're right here by the air intakes, and that is why we can hear a little bit of intake noise. So unfortunately it is that time of the day where we must turn it off. And we'll do a quick video of the disassembly. I just actually want to give you a quick view inside now that it's finished. There is definitely no leakage whatsoever in here. This looks really good. It's dry inside, and again you can see the air vent. That air vent here helped out immensely. I never had an error code whatsoever this weekend. I know the unit was outside, but it was outside before when I got an error code, so drawing the air in from here through here. Now I did drill those holes under here up on an angle, so if any rain ran down the panel, it hopefully wouldn't run in, or it would reduce it anyway. So having an extra airflow coming over the exhaust and the heat exchanger this way, as well as drawing the air in from here, was perfect. It worked well. Perfect. Now let's have a look at the fuel. That is exactly, we started off about here earlier. this week, and we're down to here. So to be honest with you, that's probably been running till 10:30 today, 7:30 plus 3, so 36, 39 hours. So it's not bad for 39 hours. I was worried that I didn't fill it. I'm really happy now the fact that I'm right down here. So as far as this test concerns with me, I am super impressed. I was really skeptical. Condensation was good, heat was good, output was good, fuel economy was good, noise was really good. There's a lot of pros and cons for these heaters. Do your research, but for me there's a lot more pros. So awesome. I'd like to thank you for watching this series. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. It does help me get better viewings as well. But thank you very much for watching. Survive to be alive. So we just got back. Negative, positive, lithium battery, and we still have 13.27 volts inside of the battery. 39, yeah, about 38, 39 hours. With this battery. So I'm sure the next best test would be for me to do is a 3-day weekend, etc.